What's up, you guys? We are back for a quick minute. Um, so we were talking earlier about the Braxtons and all the things that's going on with the show, and um, some information came to me, and I debated about whether I was going to do this video because, like the informed said this show was putting all this young man's business out there, but I said they made it a part of the show. They made it a major part of the storyline. We were having this conversation, so I'm going to share the information with you guys. Again, we are not going to be here long. Come on in, come on in, come on in. If you're catching this in a replay, hey, 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 please hit the like button as you walk in the door, and let's get into it. So on the Braxtons, on the episode, I believe it was episode 2, Kevin, they were having a group therapy session. Kevin Jr., Tracy Braxton's son, there was a knock on his door. We could hear him talking to somebody in the background, and we found out later on that he was literally arrested. And Tawanda knew what was going on. Trina sort of knew what was going on. I'm sure Mama knew, but Tony, Tamar were totally like, "What the hell? What the hell?" And they haven't really given us the clear information about what's going on. We do know that Tawanda insinuated that Kevin was set up, that somebody called the police knowing that he was going to be filming, knowing that he, to try to embarrass him. And to that, I say two things. One, I say, then y'all could have got that edited out. Y'all are producers on the show. If y'all didn't want, I feel like y'all could afford to get that edited out. And two, granted, somebody may have called the police to let them know where he was and where he was going to be at that particular time. But that means he still had to have had a warrant, which means something happened. That doesn't mean he was guilty of something, but that means that something happened that caused the necessity for a warrant. That's what I'm saying. Okay. With that being said, I do not have the actual police report, but I do have some court records. So I'm gonna start with the timeline. We know that Tracy Braxton had a cancer battle that lasted. I feel like it progressed quickly, but it lasted a few months. So Kevin was very aware of his mother's illness. We know he got married while his mother was sick. I'm not sure if they hastened the wedding for those purposes. I kind of feel like they did. But we know from the pictures from the wedding, I think that was the first time that a lot of people knew that Tracy was sick, because those pictures from the wedding surfaced and she just looked, you could tell that she was sick. Tracy passed away in March of 2002. So we're going to look at the timeline as it connects to March of 2002. So what I was able, I didn't find it. Somebody found it and sent it to me, but I know it came from Charles County courts for the state of Maryland. And Charles County is the county where Kevin Jr. lived at the time of these things. Did I say the wrong year? Did I say the wrong year? 2022. If I said the wrong year, I apologize. Tracy died in 20. Okay, I must have said the wrong year because y'all keep putting it in the chat. She died in 2022. What year did I say? Okay, y'all, sorry. Everybody's putting 2022. I clearly said the wrong year. I'm sorry. What year did I say? My bad. Tracy died in March of 2022. Oh, I said 2002. Oh, Lord, no. 2022. Thank y'all. And please don't nobody put it in the comments. If you're watching this video on replay, just keep watching, okay? I've corrected myself. The chat got me together. Please don't nobody put in the comments 2000 that is 2020. I know. I fixed it, okay? All right. Let me share with you guys. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Wait a minute before I share my screen. Let me make sure that is on the picture I want to start with. Is that the picture I want to start with? Yes, that's the picture I want to start with. Okay. Let me share my screen. All right, you guys, 2022. Thank y'all for getting me together. All right. So these are actually coming from the court documents. This is what his file, and this is public information. I'm not doxing anybody. I did not get this information from a private place. This is public information. If you have the name, you know what you're doing, you can find this information. I'm going to make it bigger. As you can see, on October, hold on, Lord. On October the 17th of 2022. So Tracy passed away in March. So this is April, May, June, July, August, September, October. This is 7 months later. It looks like Kevin was arrested for DV. It looks like he was arrested for DV. On October the 17th is the filing date of 2022. You can see here that the hearing date was October the 17th of 2022. You see the location of the hearing date. That's the courthouse in the Plate of Maryland. I'm not putting again, the courthouse is public information. As you can see here, a stay away order was issued on October the 18th. Shall not abuse, shall not contact, shall stay away from school, shall stay away from employment, shall vacate the home, shall not enter the residence. There's also something in here later on in further paperwork dealing with surrendering of a firearm. Now, again, I do not have the police report, so I do not know what happened that day, what he was accused of doing. But what it looks like is that there was some sort of situation on October the 17th of 2022, and there was a stay away order granted. Okay, now the end result is that everything was dismissed, but let's look at the dates. The dates are what's important. As you can see here, the stay away order was renewed. There was another hearing on December of 2023. And as you can see, the stay away order was still in effect. Shall not abuse, shall not contact, stay away from employment, vacate the home, shall not enter the residence. You see right here, there's a temporary court order. You see here, surrender firearms. That was on December the 18th of 2023. It was not, hold on, I'm going to come back to that. I don't want to look at that yet. Hold on, I want to look at that yet. Okay. As you can see here, the case was not finally over. The stay away order was valid through July the 26th of 2024. July the 26th of 2024. But ultimately, the case has been closed at this time. As of today, if you go into the court records, you'll see that the case was closed. And what it says is that the respondent failed to appear. The petitioner failed to appear. So what it looks like is, you see here, it was dismissed. It was dismissed. Ultimately, the final result is that this case has been dismissed. And it says because the petitioner failed to appear. Now, I am not an attorney. So, hold on. Right here. I know it's kind of hard for y'all to see, but right here it says petitioner failed to appear. Petitioner failed to appear. Final, it says right here, the final decision, dismissed, petitioner failed to appear. Now, with that being said, I do not know. Hey, Tracy, go to sleep. I do not know. Again, I do not have the police report, so I cannot say what the actual case, I can't say what actually happened that day. But what it looks like to me is that there was a stay away order put in place, but it does not look like, it looks like the case was ultimately resolved, but it looks like it was not resolved until this summer. Well, the stay away order was put in place until this summer. So going back to what Tracy said, Lord Tracy, going back to what Tawanda said, what it looks like to me, there may be some validity in what Tawanda said about him being quote unquote set up, And what I mean by that is he had a stay away order. She could have called his, and when I say she, I'm talking about his ex-wife, could have called the police and said, hey, he showed up at my daughter's school today. That we have a protective order. He's not supposed to be at the school. Hey, I'm sorry, they have a son. He showed up at my son's school today. Hey, he came by the house today. He's not supposed to be at the house. He's violating a protective order. So when Tawanda says that he may have been set up based on somebody knowing that he was going to be filming and knowing where he was going to be, there may be some validity in that to say she waited until the time when she thought she could embarrass him and have the police show up at his door, right? That is what I think Tawanda may have been speaking of. But as of today, it looks like it's been resolved. However, while they were filming, the protective order was in place. While they were filming, the protective order was still in place. So it could have been something along those lines. How would she know that they were filming? I don't know what kind of conversations they have with each other. You know what I'm saying? They may be in a better place now than they were in October of 2022. That was 2 years ago. They may be in a better place as far as, maybe they asked her to be on the show and she declined. Maybe he was supposed to pick their child up from school and he said, I can't pick the baby up today because I'm filming. We're having a therapy session and we're going to be filming it for the show. Remember, she was on the show before when her and Kevin were dating, and when she had the baby, she's been on the show before. So maybe they reached out to her to film. Maybe he told her, I can't do this because of that. Why do they have a protective order? Well, that a lot of times is standard operating procedure when there's a DV. That's order. A lot of times that's automatic that you file a protective order. Again, I don't have the police report, so I don't know what happened that night or what was accused of happening that night. I don't have that information. I just know that on October the 17th of 2022, there was a DV case filed and there was a protective order put in place that looks like it did not expire until July of this year. So this summer, July of 2024, that is the last date I saw. And again, y'all know the person that sent this to me, that's the last date that I saw. But what I also saw is that the case is closed. And it was dismissed, and it was dismissed because it says on the paperwork petitioner failed to show. So again, maybe his wife didn't, or ex-wife did not show up because they are in a better place and she agreed to drop the order. I don't know. Yeah, that's the best. And I'm giving you guys the best explanation based on my novice opinion. And when I joke a lot about not being an attorney, but I really am not an attorney. So I'm giving y'all the best I have based on what I've been able to understand from the paperwork. And again, this is not private information. You can go to the court of St. Charles County in the state of Maryland, and you guys can pull the same information. Y'all know his name. Y'all can pull the same information that I got. Also, I do have his divorce information. So let's look at that. There's nothing salacious with the divorce. It just goes to the timeline. It just goes to the timeline. He did speak of that on the show about going through the divorce while you see right here where it says Maryland Judiciary Case Search. So again, that lets you know there's nothing. I ain't doxed nobody. You see here the circuit court for Charles County, this family court. You see the date that it was filed. It was filed on October the 19th of 2023. So again, a year after the alleged DV incident, they filed for divorce. So it looks like they stayed. Maybe they tried to work things out. Maybe they tried to go to therapy. I don't know. But the alleged DV situation, I shouldn't say alleged. I have the court documents. The DV situation took place October the 17th of 2022. And The original filing date for the divorce was October the 19th of 2023. As you can see, the status is closed because the divorce is final. I'm not going to show you, like right here where it says involved parties. That does get into private information. It has their address and everything. So I'm not going to show you guys any of that information. But I do want you guys to see, you see this just goes through all the different things that happened during the divorce. You know, every time they have to do something, send out a report, send out a subpoena or whatever, they put that. So that's all that is. You just see the timeline, October. That's all you see right here. You just see them doing that. But this right here, you can see that their final hearing for their divorce was April of 2024. And the final judgment of absolute divorce was granted May of 2024. So his divorce is new. I mean, as far as the final divorce is new. Looks like the divorce became final May 15th of 2024. And then a copy was mailed to all parties at that time. Their final hearing was April. There is something in there. There's a worksheet included for child support. So it looks like child support was discussed and resolved as well at that time, you know, during this. And they were given an absolute divorce. And basically an absolute divorce, I looked it up. For the state of Maryland, an absolute divorce is basically it's just a regular old divorce. It's not necessarily, in the state of Maryland, it's pretty much the same with a no-fault divorce. So there was nothing salacious that I saw. There was nothing salacious that I saw as it related to their divorce. Again, I don't have the actual transcripts from what was said in court, but it was a no-fault divorce was granted. So when we look at the timeline, his mom passed away in March of 2022. The domestic violence incident took place October of 2022. The divorce was filed October 2023, and it was finalized April of 2024. In the midst of that, they were filming for the show. I do not know when they started and stopped, but we know that they were filming last spring. We know they were filming last spring because Tawanda made mention about her birthday and, you know, that kind of thing. And Tamar said something about your birthday was back in such and such time, but we're now in this such and such time. So we know they were filming in the spring based on that conversation. You remember she did his hair. He probably told her he had to film. They didn't seem mature enough to be married. I honestly think they got married to make Tracy happy. I think that was probably something they did. I'm not for Tracy. I mean, do I think they loved each other? Yes, I think they loved each other. And of course they have a child. I feel like that was something that maybe they did for Tracy. I don't know. I can't say that for a fact, but I could easily see that being a conversation. I could easily see that being a conversation saying, hey, this is what I want to see you married. I want to see you happy, you know, that kind of thing. It was something else I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. It was something else I was going to say, y'all, and I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what it was now, but it was something else I was going to say. It was something as it relates to the timeline. So, let me just say this. So going back to what I was saying earlier, and I know some of y'all didn't agree with me, and that's okay. I love y'all anyway. Going back to what I was saying as it relates to, we don't know Kevin Sr.'s real reason for being upset. We're assuming, or the sisters want us to draw the conclusion that it's about money. It's about, you know, him being mad at Kevin Jr. about not having about not being in charge of Tracy's estate and being the executor. But again, like I said earlier, maybe the daddy knows some stuff that the sisters don't know. Like, that is his child. He raised his child. He knows his child. Maybe he didn't think his child was ready for the responsibility. Maybe he didn't think his child was mature enough. Maybe he wasn't secure that his child was going to handle business the way business needed to be handled. I can't say for certain. What I can say, though, is that there are three sides to this story. Or really, there's four sides to this story, and we're only getting one via the sisters. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We can't get Tracy's side of the story because she's not here to speak for herself. The son, Kevin Jr., we only know his version of the story via his sister. Via Tawanda and Trina, who don't like Kevin Sr. Let's be clear. They don't like Kevin Sr. Now, what I'm interested, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all this little bit of information. Then we're not going to be here too much longer. But I'm going to go ahead. Kevin Jr., his date of birth, hold on, because his date of birth is on one of these documents. I can tell you. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I can look real quick and find out his date of birth. Let me go back. 1996. He was born in 1996. So 30 something. He's in his 30s. Yes, they said father and son are not speaking. But remember, Kevin Jr. on the show, he doesn't speak to anybody, because they would talk. Remember, they said that, and Tawanda was like, well, we're here. You need us. You can ask us for stuff. And remember, Mikey and the father, he was saying, well, I don't want to he's 28. Oh, I said 30s. My bad. I can't do my math. He's 28. Remember, he said, well, I don't want to ask you for anything, until I'm really desperate. And they were like, yeah, but you wait until you're desperate. We can't help you then. Like, you got to talk to us and let us know. So it doesn't sound like Kevin is really talking to anybody, let's be honest, until he needs help. So he's not speaking to his father, and it sounds like he's really only speaking to his aunt when he needs the help. Somebody answer me this question. Those of you that are watching the show, because I need y'all's help, because y'all know, I'm being fair, I have not been watching each episode. When they say that Tracy said she did not want a funeral, did they produce any sort of proof to show that? Like, did they show clips of Tracy saying it? Did they show any type of paperwork? Or is it just her word against Kevin's? And that's important for a reason. I'm going to tell y'all why in a minute. So I need to know. For those of you that are watching it, they said that Tracy did not. Okay. Hey, Fifi Boo. The reason why I ask you guys that is this, and y'all can go back and find it. It may be on members only, because it may be on members only. But remember, I told y'all that I know people who were friends with Kevin, like real friends with Kevin. Some of his Masonic family, his biking family, who are friends with Kevin. That's how I have been around Tracy. Again, I'm not pretending like me and Tracy was friends. I'm not pretending like I've had more than a passing conversation with her. Let's be clear. But remember, I told you guys that I know people who were friends with them, people who spoke at the funeral and things of that nature. On a live, they said they have a recording. Okay, so they say they do have a recording. Okay, but the lawyer said he has recordings. Okay, the reason why I say that is this. What I was told at the time of the funeral. Remember, I told y'all I was invited to the funeral. What I was told at the time of the funeral is that they claim she left instructions in her will also. Okay. I'm gonna have to ask an attorney. I have a question. I have to ask an attorney. I do not believe that. I believe it was a celebration of life. I do not believe. I don't know that to be a fact. It's still on YouTube. I would have to go back and watch it on YouTube. I don't know that to be a fact. But here's what I was told. And I'm not saying it just because I was told it was true. I'm just telling y'all what I was told. At the time of her passing, what I was told was that the reason why the sisters and Miss E were upset is because Kevin would not allow them to take over. What I was told is that they wanted to take over. They wanted to do it their way. And they also wanted to do it in Atlanta. They didn't want to do it up here. They wanted to do it in Atlanta. Now, here's what I find interesting. And I'm not saying that makes it true. I'm telling y'all what I was told. Here's what I find interesting. If they were so upset with Kevin, hey, ODS, hey, boo. If they were so upset with Kevin about having the funeral for Tracy, and Tracy was so adamant and so against it, then why did they still have a memorial for her in Atlanta? I'm not saying that anybody is telling the truth or anybody's lying. I'm telling you what I was told. And like I said, because let me tell you, I said this. Y'all can go back and find it. I can go look for the video. But I did a video when Tracy first passed. I did a video. Because at the time, there was another YouTuber saying something else. And I was like, that ain't what I was told. The night that Tracy passed away, my friend, the one that I'm friends with, she's part of the motorcycle club, and she's also part of the Masonic family. That's how I know her. I know her through we're both Eastern Stars. Tracy was an Eastern Star. Kevin is a Mason. She's also part of the motorcycle club that Tracy and Kevin were a part of. That's how I know her. She said the night that Tracy passed, they drove by the hospital. The motorcycle club drove by the hospital. They also had a balloon release the Friday after Tracy passed. They had a balloon release. I was invited to the balloon release. I didn't go, but I was invited. That is when I was told that there was some mess going on, even then. So I'm just saying, all of their moves were damn moves, were disrespectful as hell at the time. There's something not right about this whole thing. It's about image. They want to be seen as amazing grieving sisters. They want to spotlight. That's why I say, G, I think this whole show is about them. It has nothing to do with Tracy. They keep saying, oh, that's what Tracy wanted. That's what Tracy wanted. And that's fine. That might be what Tracy wanted. But I don't think, but to me, they're using this as their, we know that the world saw us treating Tracy like shit. So we want y'all to know that in the end, we were good sisters. That's how I feel about it. Unfortunately, when you are married, if you don't have something in writing, whatever the husband decides. And see, that's what it was. Okay, exactly. And I think, again, that's why I feel the way I feel, y'all, because I was told this back in 2022 that the sisters wanted to take over the funeral and they wanted it in Atlanta. And Kevin was like, no, we're doing it up here. We're going to do it my way. Now, Tracy may very well have said that she didn't want all of that. However, and I'm going to have to ask an attorney, somebody who knows, because y'all know I don't know, if she had it in a will, I don't know, child. The other thing is, if Tracy was so adamant against it, then how come her daddy and her brother went to the service that was up here? It's interesting to me that the sisters and Miss Evelyn didn't go to the service that was up here. But the father and the brother and the family that lives up here did attend. I find that to be interesting. That's what I was thinking, is what's in the will is in the will. What's in the will is in the will. But anyway, child. So I just thought I would bring that down here and give y'all that little tidbit. That information fell in my lap. The Maryland family was there. Absolutely, Cheryl. The Maryland family was at the memorial service that was here in Maryland. Yes. Yes. Yes, they were. The father was there. The brother was there. Yes. So I find that interesting that if the family was so against it, it was only the sisters and Miss Evelyn that didn't come. So rather it was in her will or not, I could have had a memorial. Right, that's what I'm saying. If her body wasn't there and it was just a memorial, anybody can do a memorial service. So that's why I was like, you know. But like I said, what I also know is, and Kevin said this on his live when he talked a little bit about it, I don't know what the arrangements were for their house. And remember, Kevin Jr. was the executor of her estate, but they lost that house. I don't know if Kevin Sr. couldn't afford the mortgage by himself. I don't know if Tracy's name was on the house and his name wasn't on the house, but they lost that house. Now, Kevin said that. I'm not telling their business. Kevin said that himself. He said that he lost their home. And again, I don't know if that house was in her name alone. So, right, Kevin Sr. held the memorial, right. Chandra, I don't know. I got to go back and look. I don't know. I know he lost the house though. And it may just be because he couldn't afford it by himself. Like, their house was nice. I know exactly where they lived. Their house was nice, but it wasn't like they was living in no $5 million home or nothing. It was nice though. It was a nice house in a nice neighborhood. Yeah. Apparently to me that this, hold on. Hey, Miss Parker, thank you. Hold on, let me read it. Thank you for the super chat, my boo. Appears to me that the sisters felt so entitled that one way or another they were going to monetize off of her, say or not. Kevin Sr. said he gave it up because it was too big. Okay, that's fine. Then why not sell it? Why would you just let it go? Why not sell it? And again, I'm on the outside looking in. But why just leave it and let it go into foreclosure? Because that's what happened. They lost the house. You know what I mean? It may have been too big, and it may have been too many memories and all of those things. But then my thing is, then why not just sell it then? I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. I'm just talking out loud, y'all. Tracy distrusted everyone but her son, who she knew would have her best interests at heart, and her end of life decision proved so. They lived in Charles County, correct? They lived in Waldorf. The house was in Waldorf. Maybe he was so grief-stricken he couldn't just and that could be it. Listen, that could very well be it. He may have just packed up one day and left. He may have just, or maybe they were upside down in the house. Maybe they couldn't sell it. Maybe they owed more than what the house was worth. It could be a lot of, all of those are factors. When it comes to a house, it's not that easy. Like, it ain't easy as 1, 2, 3. Like, there are a lot of factors that go into selling a house. And if it was a down market and the house wasn't worth, well, maybe they might not have lived in the house that long. I don't know. It could have been a lot of reasons, but I know he did say that he lost that house. Because there's a difference between saying I moved out of the house or I sold the house and I lost the house. So, Child, we 1 week into the school year. It ain't going nowhere yet. Oh, child. All right, let me get off here, y'all. I said I wasn't gonna be here long. But I did get that information I wanted to just share with y'all. Someone put up the property tax records to see who it was sold, meaning did it go back to the bank? Yeah, it went back to the bank. I can tell you that. The house went into foreclosure. Yeah, the house went back to the bank. Yeah, we did start. I said we only 1 weekend. Last week was our first week of school. Yeah, we're 1 weekend. Got a long way to go. So yeah. But thank you for asking. All right, y'all, I'm out. Thank y'all for coming through. Again, I just wanted to share that information. If I get more information or get more clarity, y'all know I'll bring it to y'all. But I did want to put that out here. So there looks like there may be some validity to what Tawanda said, that maybe he was set up, but it does look like he was, that there was an outstanding protective order that maybe he did or did not violate. I don't know. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Peace. Mwah.